Hi students, how are you doing? Welcome to my channel. Hope you are great. Disclaimer: this video reflects my personal opinions and commentary. It is not intended to harass, harm, or defame any individual. Content is for discussions and educational purposes. So I am seeing video of a white man calling black. They call black people Democrat. For those that do not know, this is me reminding you that there are some places you hear them say Democrat. They are talking about black people, not Democrat as a party. So they are here trying to tell us that do we know what privilege means? Privilege is all about the Democrats going to buy sneakers of $200 while they are on EBT, or living in a house that is already subsidized, or not even paying electricity bills and all that, or being on EBT and flexing. When we talk about how black people survive, so many people don't understand it because your survivor instinct or survivor this thing is different from their own. We can be going through the hardest time, but we don't look like what we've been through. That is something that I'm not black people for. And we pull it out, that we might even be like going through the worst, but we still come out looking fly on 2 cents, 5 cents, and all that. People be like, oh, I admire her. Thank you for admiring black people. Some people will never stop because at this point it is called obsession. That there is no day that passes by black people are not your top.
Hey people, while Democrats shout white privilege to real Americans, it's time they are given some real life examples of what the word privilege really means. Privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you've never had a job. Privilege is wearing $300 Beats headphones while living on public assistance. Privilege is having a smartphone with a data plan which you receive no bill whatsoever for. Privilege is living in public subsidized housing where you don't have a water bill, where rising property taxes and rents and energy costs have absolutely no effect on the amount of food you can put on your table. Privilege is the ability to go march against and protest against anything that triggers you without worrying about calling out of work and the consequences that accompany such idiotic, retarded behavior. Privilege is having as many children as you want, regardless of your employment status, and be able to send them off to daycare or school that you don't pay for. So Democrats, get off your fucking high horse on privilege, okay? Real Americans know it when we see it. And it's a good thing our 3-time elected President Donald Trump sees it as well, because all this fleecing of America will soon be a thing of the past. What do you guys think we promise? It's not people.
You want to talk about privilege? You want to talk about real privilege? Real privilege is wearing $200 sneakers when you haven't worked a day in your life. Privilege is walking around with $300 Beats headphones while you're living on food stamps, while you're on public assistance, and it's paid for by people who wake up and grind every day. Privilege is having the latest smartphone with unlimited data and having zero idea where the bill goes because somebody else is always picking up the tab. Privilege is being able to protest every little thing that offends you without worrying about calling in sick to work because you don't have a job. Privilege is being able to cheat, lie, fail over and over again in life and still get bailed out while people who play by the rules get punished. That's privilege. This isn't about race. This isn't about class. This is about accountability. We've got a culture that rewards victimhood and demonizes work ethic and responsibility. Meanwhile, the people holding everything together for the rest of society, they get taxed into the ground, their businesses get choked by regulation, and they get personally vilified for speaking up and saying that this is full. You want to talk about privilege? Then start with the people who've never paid the price, but who also scream the loudest. Because they've never had to build anything. They've never had to defend anything. They've never had to carry any real weight. And the reason they get away with it, it's because we don't live in a society of strong men anymore. No, that's been dismantled on purpose over the last 50 years. Because a society of strong men would never put up with any of this bullshit. And that's exactly why they came after us first.
5 years ago, you could not convince me otherwise that this dude wasn't racist. But now that I know individualism, he hit every buzzword. Hard work, talking about not being able to be silenced, or, well, essentially saying you'd be under attack for speaking out, right? That's freedom of speech. It's all about rights. It's about strength. It's about power. All of these terms that he's using speaking to individualism. It's not about your race. It's about your output and your work ethic and your individual merit that you have gone forth with. In collectivism, in the black community, you're kind of told that this is what racism sounds like. I had to actually discover that that's what individualism sounds like. America is the most individualistic nation on the planet. So these hyper individualistic white dudes, there's a lot of them because they live in a country that is like really manufacturing this. You can't convince me that this is anything but individualism. And I want you to notice that even words mean different things to different groups. An individualist would even use the word privilege differently. He's talking about the privilege of owning something in the present time without having to do any actual work for it. That's the privilege. Versus a collectivist would talk about historical privilege, meaning something in the past was done that you didn't have to work for, and now you're reaping the benefits. Individualists saying you didn't work for your Beats headphones, they might say, I definitely did, or my mama did, or like someone close to me did. If you say historically you are privileged, individuals would be like, no, I'm not. No one helped me get here. And they're like, well, someone went across a ocean to get you here. That's help. Like, even if it wasn't you, that you didn't ask for it. And that's what I mean. Your worldview will dictate how you even interpret language. So are white people privileged? Yes and no. Are they personally privileged? Definitely not. Are they historically privileged? Yes. I mean, all Americans are, unless you're first generation and you had to get yourself here. Okay, I love a challenging question. Racist dog whistle versus individualism. How do we tell the difference? And am I just being a coon for even thinking that there is one? So first, let me point out something that I think is fascinating, is that pattern recognition is not enough for us to come to a conclusion. And I use the perfect example here of the difference between Caitlyn Jenner and RuPaul. If you don't have a relationship with queer community, you can't tell the difference between Caitlyn Jenner and RuPaul. You would think they're both trans, where one is a drag queen and one is trans. So what I'm basically saying is the closer you are to understanding something, the better you can delineate the differences, right? Because you have a relationship with it. Collectivism, we respect that as well. If you have a relationship with a community, you can tell the difference, right? Like some people can't tell when they're looking at an African versus a foundational black person, but you ask us, we like, nah, they African, right? So that's what I'm saying here at this level too, is it's very hard to not see a racist white dude if you're from afar, but when you get closer, you can go, oh, that's individualism. So that's one piece of it. The second piece is being able to decipher how we're making our decisions. How do we analyze the situation? Individualism will analyze the situation very clear on the individual word choice being used, whereas collectivism is going to do more pattern recognition and think of the social impact of the words you're using. So a white dude disparaging people for being lazy, we know who you're talking about. Versus individualism is like a white dude who says, I'm explicitly not talking about race. We go, okay, well, he's not talking about race. What is he talking about? So that's a difference here. And now let me give you an example. I just watched The Amazing Creator, and this is so you show like I'm not like, oh, white people are the best and black people are horrible. That's not what's happening, even though that's how I get perceived. What I'm saying is, so let's take a doctor. A doctor is a perfect example of how they should be operating. A doctor should always look at the individual patient that's in front of them, but at times a doctor might look at the collective worldview and then make their decision. And I think that's where a doctor is going to act as a racist more so than a good primary care person. So a perfect example of this, I was watching a creator who shared a story of this black woman who has sickle cell anemia, and she went to the hospital to get some care, and she was like, hey, what does best is this level of Benadryl that I need and I get prescribed. So this is what her personal care is. Well, this racist doctor, and I'm going to say they're racist because they didn't take her individual situation into consideration. They looked at at the collective story of a black person coming in asking for drugs that don't typically align with this level of care. And he goes, I'm a doctor, I'm expert. You're just trying to get high and you're not fooling me. And it's like, whoa, chill. That's racist. Why is it racist? Because he didn't look at the individual and what they were sharing and the information they had. He was going based off of collective judgment. And so when I come back to our perception, the reason why I rail against pattern recognition and I say worldview over race, not race over worldview, is because typically the collectivist pattern recognition is A plus B equals C. So A is white man, B complaining about laziness, C he's racist. But that's in our head. We finished that sentence. He didn't say that. We said he was racist. We said he's talking about us. And that's because the racist white collective from history's past has complained about us so much being lazy that we have we have accepted that label to mean us. When you're talking about laziness, they're talking about us. But there are white lazy people, there are Asian, Indian lazy people who don't like lazy people, don't like all lazy people. But we think it's always about us because we've been taught and force fed the collective worldview so much that we also believe in collectivism and see group dynamics first. We think of groups before individuals. So what I'm saying is, yes, there are people that look like this dude that have probably said these things in a racist manner. What I'm saying is this guy is hyper individualistic and he's probably like rugged individualistic. He likes the most extreme version of individualism. And that's why he's railing against laziness in general, but it's not because he's against black people. He is against laziness. And that is not racism, even though the collective has taught us over and over that it is. Am I close? Are you like, are you like, nah, bro, you're doing too much. You're trying too hard to make white people happy. Like, where are you at?
All black people are impulsive, lazy.
All black people are impulsive and lazy. I'm pretty sure it is not all black people that are impulsive and lazy, right? That's a racist stereotype. This is a white Christian nationalist. He's also a pastor, although he's not really preaching the good word. I feel like he's preaching a lot of hate. Can't believe you call yourself a pastor without preaching the word of love, but okay. There is a whole endless list of black people, successful black men and women, kings and queens out here doing the business, okay? We're not all lazy and we're not all impulsive. In fact, here are some of my favorite black accomplished people out there. Barack Obama and Michelle Obama, the first black male president and the first black woman to be the first lady. Breonna Daniels, y'all know that I did a video on her a while back. She's the first black woman to work in a NASCAR pit stop. Victor Glover, the first black astronaut to pilot the Artemis II. You know that new space mission that's trying to go to the moon right now? Yeah. And what about the college graduates? What about all these people? Are they lazy? I just don't think you should be saying that all black people are lazy and impulsive. It's racist, which I'm sure he doesn't care because he's a white Christian nationalist. So what does my opinion even mean to him? Don't let these people bring you down. You know who you are inside. We need to stay united. And if you like that kind of thing, follow me to join this beautiful growing community of non-hateful people. And spread love everywhere you go.
All black people are impulsive, lazy.
Excuse me? All people are what? First of all, let me tell you something. You racist ass wannabe Christian motherfucker. First of all, not all black people are lazy. That's racist and that's a stereotype. First of all, boo-boo, look at our history. Black people, we didn't have no right to be lazy. We was working our asses off. Look at history. Slavery, hello? Them slaves wasn't lazy because the racist white man was beating up slaves for being lazy and shit, killing them and shit. Was working their asses off in the fields. So, boo-boo, not all black people are lazy. And you can miss me with that Christianity shit. Cause real Christians, nah. A real Christian would never say that. You just a racist ass white man. Cause honey, let me tell you something. I cannot speak on all black people, but let me tell you something. This black queen ain't motherfucking lazy by a damn shot. I work 5 to 6 days out the motherfucking week. I do anywhere from 8, 9, 10, sometimes 11, sometimes 12 motherfucking hours. off every single motherfucking day. We can't afford to be lazy. We was taught how to work. The fuck? I'm so tired of y'all racist white folks. I swear to God, I'm tired of y'all. I'm so tired of racist white folks. And you got the audacity to call yourself a Christian. First of all, we are all God's children. The only thing that's different about us is the color of our skin. The fuck? Cancel this man. You should not even be a priest or a pastor. Because if this is what you're teaching people in the church, I hope you know you're going to hell. You're going to hell. God don't like ugly. God don't like racism. Talking about some all black people lazy. Find you somebody else to play with. The fuck?
This is all I got from this. This is all I got from this video. Guys, let me tell us something. You know, when I remember when I was telling black people back then that some people, there is nothing people have not called me on this platform, but I'm just remembering it, and I used to remember it all the time. But then let me say, I remember when I used to tell black people that they call black people Democrats. I'm sure for now it's no longer news, because when I bring some videos, some of you guys, I don't even know, some people it looks like they don't even hear. I don't know if I should call it the whistle or the overtone or the undertone, whichever one. Like sometimes I remember that I have to type a whole paragraph for somebody saying that a video got nothing to do with black people, and I had to give her like how many reasons why the video got to do with black people. And some people actually have not been following my channel for so long, and they just started following, and then they come in the comment section to call me Tedder. They say that I am, they say so many things, but it's okay. I want us to know that they call black people Democrats. Black people, they call you Democrats. Right? So it is amazing how somebody sat down there to say that, oh yeah, the Democrats, do you know what it means to have privilege when you do not have money and you wear $200 sneakers? Guys, can we just be truthful about some people and lies? Some people were born the day God created lies. That is one of the reasons why they lie. If you don't have a job, how would you have money to buy $200 sneakers? That is number one. Even if you are on EBT and you have $200, does it mean that you don't have other things you want to do aside from the $200? I mean, some people are just crazy. I understand the fact that black people love to look good, which is normal. I love to look good. I love to look fly, but it's always on budget. You know that kind of looking good. Some people go to have press on. I can buy press on. It's so cheap where I live. Very cheap, very affordable. And buy glue, put it on, and you are tripping. And you are like, oh my God, you have your nails done and you're asking for $2 or you're asking for $5 because the press on did not cost anything, or somebody can even buy it for you. Can you people stop? The stereotype is even, it's jumping, it's growing on your head, on your hairs. Because how do you want to continue to stereotype somebody for no reason? I mean, this one is ridiculous, very ridiculous. And there is no need to cover some certain things up. And then affordable housing. Some people do not even understand that for you to be on EBT, you must qualify to be on EBT. Some people think it's like when you step out, you just be on EBT. And then when you ask them who are the people that are on EBT more? White people. White people. Holy moly. This is draining that you have to talk all this in over and over again. I don't think there is any, maybe I have a sneaker but that sneaker I remember some years, my boss was the one that bought it for me. And I wore that sneakers for how long? Even there are some sneakers you will buy. You won't even have to buy it in the next 5 years or something. You won't have to, or 2 years, you won't have to buy sneakers. There are some people that don't change sneakers that often. But Why do I have to explain to you while I am buying a snake? I don't even know what to say at this point in time because it's like my brain is just clogged that I can't even fathom the obsession. Because this thing is obsession, wanting to know how much they're this thing. The earring is cost. Oh yeah, you have an earring and you are asking for $2. Hello, you have lashes when I can easily go out and have what with glue. Clip it, go out, come back, remove it, and clip it the next day. And you would think that I am balling. Sometimes you don't have to look like what you've been through. That's why when we talk about being able to navigate some certain things, you guys think that is it. Yes, black people can navigate anything. They have this great survival instinct. You don't have it. That's why when you are broke, you look haggard. We know. Even you smell. Because we don't have to smell even when we don't have anything. We come out, we show out, and you don't know we're suffering. Because you don't carry your problem on your head. The moment you start carrying your problem on your head, that is the end of your life. We are being judged. We are lazy. Yes, we are lazy. Kill me. YouTube, I'm not saying it's sarcasm. I'm not saying kill me like killing somebody. It's sarcasm, please. Yes. We are lazy. But literally almost everything you guys have was built on off black people. But still we are lazy. No, we are very hard working, and we became lazy when we started asking for equal everything. Welfare, give us everything, you give the other part. That was when black people became lazy. See. I think I am okay with this. I am no longer talking. Bye for now.